Will there actually be a fourth stimulus check? Let's talk through all the details. Welcome everybody, and thank you so much for being part of this community. If you happen to be new here, or if you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video. Thank you, and let's get into it. So one quick side note. This morning, the personal income report was released, and it came in down 13.1%. That is huge. In fact, the headlines this morning are reading, "Personal income plunges as stimulus checks fade." Yeah, so that is not what everybody wants to hear right now, because guess what? When personal income plunges like that, that means that people are not out in the economy spending money. That's what they want us to do. They want us to go out and spend our money on goods and services. But anyway, just thought that was a really interesting note there. I wanted to point it out because that is a really, really big number. 13.1% month over month. That's bad. Anyway, let's talk through this a little bit further. So we're actually in this weird transition and indecision phase right now. Let me talk you through all this, and it's going to lay the groundwork for stimulus check number 4 and answering the ultimate question that we came here to hear: will there be a fourth stimulus check? So we're in this phase right now where Democrats and Republicans are still trying to figure out if they're going to come together on a bipartisan basis for the first phase of the infrastructure package. Now, we've been talking about this a little bit over the last week or so, maybe a little bit longer, but we're coming together a little bit on a bipartisan basis. But we're still not sure if they're actually going to come together or if they're just going to abandon the whole bipartisan thing and just say, all right, we're just going to go ahead and do this thing by ourselves with budget reconciliation and just kind of move forward. However, one thing that we do know, the president has made it very clear that inaction or the lack of action is not an option at this point. In fact, regardless of what happens on the bipartisan basis front, whether they actually work together or not, he has made it very clear. We're going to move forward with this, whether you like it or not, whether we come together or not. It's happening. So he has made that very clear. Now, this is on the first portion of the infrastructure package. This is the one that's actually focused on like actual infrastructure, roads, bridges, airports, water, broadband, things like this. It's the second portion of the infrastructure package, the American Families Plan, that is the one where we expect a fourth stimulus check and possibly even those monthly recurring payments to show up. So another thing here, we want to think about this as well. And trust me, I'm getting to the question, but I need to lay the groundwork first, because if I just came on and said, yes or no, you know what I mean? It's not like, we don't have any evidence to kind of substantiate everything that we're saying here. So let me say this now too. The American Families Plan, the second portion of the infrastructure package, it has a fancy name, the American Families Plan. It's really just a massive stimulus package, $1.8 trillion of stimulus. It's focused on social programs, and that is the one where we expect stimulus check number 4 to make a little appearance, right? He pops across the stage in a little cameo and says, hey, yo, I'm stimulus check number 4. Check me out. I'm pretty cool, right? Yeah, he is pretty cool. We're just waiting for him to show up. But here's the thing. Remember, next year in 2022, there are the midterm elections. Let's just play out a quick situation really fast here. What would happen here throughout 2021? We're in this phase right now, and we're hearing all of the advertising, all of the pitches, all of this great information on the American Families Plan, how it's going to help out so many millions of people. It has all of these different social programs within it. It's offering so much relief to so many people that need it right now. And all of a sudden we fast forward a year from now, and for some reason, if it doesn't actually happen, we go into the 2022 midterm election, and it didn't happen. What would happen then? Would President Biden possibly be looking at, maybe losing some seats across the Senate and the House of Representatives? Yeah, most likely. What would happen then? If he actually lost some seats across the House and the Senate, well then guess what would happen? The power would most likely shift into that of Republicans in either of the chambers. If that happens, what will President Biden be able to accomplish the rest of his term? Pretty much nothing. Seriously, pretty much nothing, because we would be completely divided at that point. So my point is, once again, kind of circling back, laying the groundwork for all of this. Would it be in the best interest of Democrats right now to do everything they possibly can within the power that they have right now? They have power, remember. Democrats have power across the chambers. The House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency, they have the power across all of it right now. Would it be in their best interest at this point to do everything they possibly can to pile high the American Family's Plan with everything that you could ever possibly want and or dream of into that package so that it looks really good going into the midterms? Now, I want to make it very clear. I'm not taking sides. This is what every group does. I mean, Republicans do it, Democrats do it, independents do it. I mean, literally everybody does it. It's not a political statement. It's just the fact. This is what they do. So would it be in their best interest to make sure that the American Family's Plan gets pushed through? Yeah. Absolutely it would. Because if we go into next year and there's nothing, people are going to remember that. They're absolutely going to remember, hey, remember all those promises last year and we got nothing? Yeah, people remember stuff like this, especially when it impacts us directly, like stimulus checks, right? So how could they sweeten the pot a little bit? You know, like a good old bowl of ice cream? What's going to sweeten the bowl of ice cream? Well, I don't know what you guys, but some hot chocolate on top or some fudge or, you know, a brownie or anything like that would sweeten the deal. Well, what would sweeten the deal of the American Family's Plan? I don't know, maybe another fourth stimulus check, even better, some monthly stimulus checks going forward. So every single month that you look at your bank account or you go and check your mailbox, you have another check reminding you, hey, check it out, who just gave you another monthly check going forward? You get what I'm saying? Kind of like always reminding people, hey, check it out. Look what we did for you. You know what I mean? And again, these are not political statements. Everybody does this. Every party does this. You know, you got to get the votes is basically what it comes down to. But either way, so I know you're wondering, okay, yeah, a lot of talk, a lot of rambling. Like, what's the answer? Just give me a straight yes or no. We don't care about all this other stuff. Just tell me, is it yes or is it no? Trust me, I want a yes or no also. Here's what I'm going to tell you. I would be absolutely 100% shocked and surprised and confused if there is not a fourth stimulus check in the American Family's Plan. We do not know at this point if it is a simple yes or it is a simple no. But based on everything that we are seeing right now and all of the information, all of the evidence, the timing, everything that is being done right now, I would be 100% shocked if we did not see a fourth stimulus check in the American Family's Plan. So, of course, I cannot promise you and say, yes, absolutely, 100%, there will be a stimulus check in that plan. I can't say that because I don't know that for sure. In fact, they don't even know that. However, everything that we know as of right now, there is so much piling up of the evidence and information right now and people calling on a fourth stimulus check. In fact, there's actually groups right now that are calling on a fifth stimulus check. We haven't even talked about that all that much. But yeah, there's groups right now calling on, hey, we need at least two more, a fourth and a fifth. Meanwhile, we have all these people across Congress, the House of Representatives, 53 members. We have the 21 senators, obviously in the Senate. We have those members, the 6 members in the House Ways and Means. We have that group of 150 economists that wrote the open letter. We have the Fed. We have governors. We have all kinds of people of major influence coming out saying, you know, things are good right now. The economy's good, for the most part, for, whatever, take it for whatever it is. But people need additional support right now. There are some people out there who are doing really, really well during this time. However, there's this other sector of the economy and of the people right now who are really, really struggling and need that extra push. So then it comes down to, okay, stimulus check number 4. Awesome, right? Okay. It's not in the book yet, but kind of like in my little secret book, I'm basically putting it in the book because I honestly think it's going to be there. It's going to show up at some point. Now, I know there's a lot of people reaching out saying, it's not happening. Seriously, give it up. It's not happening. No, I'm not giving it up because guess what? We saw this same situation happen last year. Remember last summer? What happened last summer? We went back and forth, proposal after proposal after proposal. And what was in there? Every other proposal had a stimulus check and the other one had nothing. Remember that? Well, eventually, there was like a lot of talk about stimulus checks. There was a lot of talk about no stimulus checks. There were people coming out saying, no, it's not happening, not a chance. And there were other people coming out saying, hey, all the evidence is showing that yes, absolutely, there will be a second stimulus check. Well, guess what? finally, months later, we eventually did get stimulus check number 2, which ultimately led to stimulus check number 3, which is ultimately going to lead to stimulus check number 4, most likely. So then it leads to the next questions, which is when, who, why, where, what, how. What did I miss? Anyway, all those. And those cannot be answered quite yet. However, I would not be surprised one bit to see them really come in on this and say, here's the deal. There's people out there that need a 4th stimulus check. We need a 4th stimulus check for sure. But here's the thing. We can't be sending it out to people that are earning $75,000 as an individual or $150,000 as an individual. We really need to focus this thing down and really focus it on those lower income individuals who are most adversely impacted by everything going on right now. You guys know who you are. I mean, it's basically... from the studies, it's shown people under $50,000 of income are the ones who need the extra stimulus checks right now. It's the people basically above $50,000 and especially $75,000 who do not need the stimulus checks. The studies have shown that time and time again. They continue to show that every single time that they send out a stimulus check, they run these studies and they continue to say, hey, look at it, $75,000 of income and up, they don't need it. Basically, they don't need it. Now, don't get me wrong. Some people probably do in those higher income, brackets. I get it. But the vast majority, the bulk of the people who need stimulus check number 4 are in those lower income, $50,000 and less, $40,000 and less of any income, whether it's earned income, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, survivors, VA, RRB. It doesn't matter. Whatever the income is. Whatever somebody shows as an income, basically those lower income brackets are the ones who need it. So anyway, I wanted to run through all of this because we continue to get a lot of back and forth. Yes, absolutely, there will be one. And no, definitely not, there will not be one. This is what we know as of right now. Like I said, I would be 100% shocked if there is not a 4th stimulus check in that package. I feel like at this point, if they came up with the American Families Plan and they presented it and there was no stimulus check in it, I think a lot of people would be kind of hands up in the air. We don't care, or whatever the saying is. I don't know. I'm not cool like that. But anyway, whatever the saying is, I think there'd be a lot of hands up saying, hey, the plan is great. It's really cool, but it is not all encompassing. We're missing the most critical aspect of this plan. Stimulus check number 4, and we need to revisit the idea of monthly payments to those people who are not qualified to receive the child tax credit payments on a monthly basis. Get what I'm saying? So I hope this helps you out a little bit to kind of clarify where we are at this current point right here, right now, what's going on as far as like the approach with these packages and kind of some of the risks that are on the table right now if they didn't happen to pass another 4th stimulus check, right? So hope this helps you out. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button right down below the video. I will continue to keep you updated with everything going on, and check out any of the other videos here on the channel as I have a lot of them, over 1,100, and feel free to check those out as we have a lot of great information. Thanks again, everyone. I really appreciate you, and I'm here to help you in any way that I can as your daily advocate. I'll catch you again in the next